Welcome back here, guys and gals. You know what time it is. Newsletter time. JJ here, School of Trade. Sidewaysmarkets.com is our blog address. Welcome back here. Nightly newsletter for November 19th, 2014, the 19th day of the 11th month of the year. Wacky Wednesday here today, the Wednesday before options expiration, which will occur on Friday. We'll talk about options expiration and make sure you're prepared for that in just a few moments. We've got some consolidating ranges here on crude. Russell, boy, Russell is treading on thin ice. That's right. They are ready to collapse on that mini Russell while the S&P and the NASDAQ are making, S&P and the Dow making fresh all-time highs. It seems like everybody forgot about the Russell, boy. The Russell's getting ready for a nice big short seller's dream here. And, of course, you got gold. Gold, a little bit bullish here this week, right? Looking to buy some pullbacks on gold. I could go on for hours about what we're going to do for tomorrow. Before I do, though, let's make sure we remind you guys. Make sure you're watching our newsletter on our blog over here at sidewaysmarkets.com. If you're not watching it on our blog right now, not to worry. If you're on our YouTube page, there's a link right below the video if you're watching this video on our YouTube page. And get on over here to sidewaysmarkets.com for three specific reasons. The first reason is, first of all, you can download all of my charts. There's a link right below the video tonight where it says click here to download all the charts. Download all the charts that I'm going over tonight, and you can have those ready for your own trading day tomorrow morning. Second thing, upper left-hand corner, I have a special free pass to invite you to come out and join us in our live trade room anytime this week or next week or whenever it's convenient for you. Upper left-hand corner, get a free pass to attend our live trade room as a guest. And, of course, last but not least, lower left-hand corner, right above my ugly mug, you'll see a spot for your name and your email address to join our nightly newsletter mailing list. Now, just a heads up, guys, whether you join the free pass or the newsletter list, make sure you verify your email. I'm going to send you an email to verify that I've got the right address to send to you in the future, and also to make sure you're not one of those robots, all right? So make sure you guys download today's download today's charts, grab your free pass, and register for our nightly newsletter. All righty, now you know the ropes here today, Wednesday evening, 19th of November, and we're going to kickstart here this evening with that mighty mini Russell. Now, this Russell has been, it's been teetering here, right? We came an inch away from hitting that big 1,200 big round number, right? And then shortly above that, up around 1,207 are the all-time highs. Now, here's what I see right now. We had this very strong run up, right? Pretty much started about halfway through the month of October. We go all the way up, right? We get this nice big steep channel up top here. We overshoot by a little bit, right? The buyers, and then all of a sudden, they just gave up on it, right? Feels like those buyers just gave up on it after that attempt to go up, and then now it looks like we got a little bit of a head and shoulders here, right? Ready for a collapse. Now, if you draw it out, if you actually look at the time it took to get from that low, middle of October, all the way to the high, middle of November, you can see here now that if we go all the way back to where we came from here, we're talking about the middle of December. All right, I'm going out on a limb and projecting 1,100 right now, first week in December. Okay, looks, well, as you can see, right? We're on thin ice. We're sitting here at a major support level. We broke below it, but we know that's not enough, right? It popped right back up above it. Not enough for me to call this short just yet. But I'll tell you, this Russell is on thin ice. Now, look closely at this, and you're going to see we got some. The reason why I can't really say for sure what direction we go in tomorrow, but my gut tells me we go lower. Here's why. First of all, look at the two highs we made here, right? Okay, so we got two highs. Now, I don't use volume very much. I use it at the appropriate times. What do we know about volume? Volume does what? Volume confirms the move, right? It confirms the direction. So we tag the highs, right? We bring that down to the volume indicator, and we see right away here, unfortunately, we're not getting volume confirming going higher, right? They just kind of gave up on it. Get a little bit of a spike there, but you can see that spike was sellers most likely off the highs. So volume didn't confirm, right, that the buyers had at least the strength at those highs, right? Okay, so now that we know the buyers didn't confirm, surely the sellers probably confirmed, right? Well, look at it again, right? We tie the sell side here, the two lows. We compare those two lows, and as you can see here, same thing. Volume is going lower as the price made new lows. So, what am I going to do with this? Here's a situation where normally we would expect to see the volume confirm one of these directions, and I'd be able to give you some guidance as far as a slam dunk direction tomorrow. But this is starting to look a little bit like a megaphone or an inverted triangle. And if it is, it's one of the rarest structures you'll ever see, right? It's extremely rare, right? Extremely rare. And so what you want to do is you want to look at this as the same way you would trade the opposite. Buy the lows, sell the highs. So right now in the Russell, be on the lookout for this megaphone pattern. All right. Now if you go to our blog right now, Sideways Markets, right? Search term megaphone pattern. You'll find a great tutorial we did about the megaphone. Now again, my gut says we sell short, but you can go into my classroom material here at School of Trade. There is no JJ's gut trading strategy, right? In fact, where I come from, you go against your gut feeling, right? Most of the time, human beings are going to be the opposite of what feels natural to them, right, to become successful as traders. So right now, my gut says we go lower, but smart traders, we got to wait for confirmation. Now, I think it would be too easy if it just drops, right? Let's put it this way. It would be way too easy if this just collapsed, right? But if it does, I've got targets waiting for me here. 1144, right? 1120, 1113, 1069.4. So there's no shortage of short side seller targets on the way down. But if I had to guess right now, I'll bet we make another run for it. I'll bet we make one more run for it, right? That would kind of complete the head and shoulders, right? And again, this is just my speculation right now. If we roll over and start going lower tomorrow, then we know exactly what's up, right? We know exactly what's up. I just don't think it's going to happen. The fact that we didn't get volume confirming at that low below that key support there at 3.7, yeah, again, it's just too easy, right? The markets don't make it that easy on us. So we're probably going to bump up to that 1169, 1174, maybe as high as 1181, 85 and 7. If we can get up towards these highs and get a sell up here, I think you're going to be in a great spot to get short. Okay? Now, tomorrow is a very important day for this Russell, as you can see, right? It's a very important day. So we're going to be watching these levels closely tomorrow. Come out and see me in the room if you want me to give you some analysis on this in real time, right? So we'll be watching to see what happens around this key support at 53.7. Ideally, what I want is I either want a strong breakdown, a retrace, and I would love to sell that 3.7. That'd be one scenario. The scenario that I would almost rather like to see would be price going up so I could sell it at a better price, right? And then you've got your targets waiting for you all the way down. If we go higher here, guys, there's nothing to change for these targets for tomorrow, right? So if we jump up, nothing's going to change here. So not to worry about needing any updates on that. So we're teetering here on the Russell, right? We are definitely teetering. Now, if you want to get a little more aggressive, if you want to get selling here a little bit earlier, here are 3 sell zones I would consider for selling short. Now, again, I'm telling you right now, I think we're going to go lower, but you should not trust that, and neither should I. We need to see more confirmation. The bottom line is we just didn't see volume. We didn't see volume. So I'm looking to sell 62.4, 65.7, 69.4, 73.3, 81.4, 85.7, right? You can also see we have a channel drawn up top here, right? Pretty obvious little channel we got going here. So definitely want to sell the highs of that channel as well, okay? And then you got targets waiting for you down bottom here at 40, 30.3, and then we got the zone down here, 1120 for the Russell. All right, guys, looking for selling opportunities right now in the Russell. I would like to see us get a little bit higher to get that nice short. If it just takes off the downside, though, we'll be looking for entry short, right, throughout the day tomorrow. Moving forward here now from the Russell over here to that funny yellow metal they call gold futures. Now you can see here on gold, we have definitely been in a bullish move here over the past few weeks. Right when we started the month here of November, we started seeing these bulls creep back into it. Really what's going on, remember, we've been suffering from a strong dollar syndrome over the past few weeks here on gold, right? So that's what pushed that gold lower. Now we're starting to get some pullback here on the dollar, and that's resulting in a spike up here on the gold. All of this, by the way, is directly correlated to what? The ECB, right? The ECB. So the reason why you're getting a little bit of a bump up right now will be, remember, over the past few days, we've seen some relatively good news out of the ECB, especially yesterday's German ZEW, right? That ZEW report came out very strong for Germany, right? So very important, that news of this week. You know, so the euro's getting some strength, the dollar's going to get some weakness because of it, right? It's a natural correlation, and that's going to cause gold to go higher. So right now, right, don't think too much about this. Don't worry why, right? We talk about that all the time. I don't care really why. All I care about, what's my trend right now? Higher highs, higher lows. My trend is clearly up. What do we do in a bullish trend? We buy. Where do we buy? Not at the highs, we don't. We buy at the lows, right? 1168, 1167, 1159, 1145, right? Looking to be a buyer here on the gold at these levels below, right? Be very careful right here, guys. You've got some significant resistance overhead. And then if we do happen, if we don't pull back and we jump up, look for a sell here at 23.5. Look for a sell up at the top of that channel. But remember, if you're going to be a seller right now on the gold, you're going counter trend. So pick your spots wisely and take your profit and hit the bank. Last but not least here on the gold, we go from the 32 to the 16. Look at this rainbow of colors we have here, right? I mean, pick a direction. It's very easy to see here right now. This gold in the short term, right, is relatively consolidated. Draw out the trend lines here, right? Trend line off the low, trend line off the highs, and we see we have a bit of a little wedge going on here. I also can see here as we go lower, I've got two more areas to be a buyer for you here, 79.5. 72.4. There are two easy buy zones down at the low. Also, of course, don't forget you've got the trend line, right? The low of that wedge, right? To be a buyer there as well. Bottom line right now, gold long term is bullish, right? Over the past week or so, bullish. And the short term, we're pretty much sideways and consolidating right now. Consolidating? Was that an accent that what's going on there? Gotta love the in-grace. But we're consolidating. I don't know what I was going with that. I don't know where I was going on that one. But we're consolidating here with a long-term trend that is bullish. So buy at those lows. If we get through this 1170.8, don't forget, next level down is at 68. So it's not very far below it. So be careful trying to sell short right now. I think you're going to get a great buying opportunity there at 68 even. That symmetry, then you got 67, you get the low of that channel, right? So stay patient if you're a buyer right now on gold. If you're a seller on gold, well, we really got to wait here now. We want to see this price get up to these highs here and then sell it down at these highs. Again, if you're going to sell here at any of these zones overhead on gold, just make sure you pick your spots wisely, right, and protect that capital because you're going counter trend. Last but not least here, the mighty crude. Well, I'll tell you, this week has been one of those weeks to forget on crude. It's been sloppy. Monday was all over the place. Tuesday was all over the place. Here we have Wednesday here today. We expected to see some sloppy market today because of the inventory report, right? Wednesday. We know that. Now you can see we got a definite downtrend, right? Crude is clearly bearish on the chart. We got lower lows, we got lower highs, we got red clouds. There's nothing confusing about that. But we failed to get a lower low here, right? We failed to get that lower low this morning. So without that lower low, now we draw the trend line up, we draw the trend line down, and now we seem to have very similar scenario here we saw in gold, right? Except this time around, long-term trend is down with a short-term consolidating range. Now here's what we want to do, right? What's my long-term trend? Bearish. What do I want to do? I want to sell. Where do I sell? Sell the top of the range, right? Sell the trend line. Okay, sell the highs, right? Sell any of these areas overhead. 76.56, 77.91, 78.45. I don't think we get that high tomorrow. I mean, crude oil basically right now is dead to the world. There's absolutely no demand. There's a ton of supply right now. I mean, did you see the inventory report today? They were expecting a negative 1 million. They got what, like almost positive 4 million barrels of inventory? I mean, just a little bit. We are swimming in crude right now around the world, and there's no demand, right? There's no demand. The weather's been cold this week in the Midwest, but overall they're calling for a warmer winter than average. So not a good spot to be if you're a buyer on crude or if you're a producer on crude right now. If you're a consumer of crude right now, let the party start, right? Now, we called $70 a barrel 3 weeks ago. Remember this? Right? Remember this? OPEC came out and said we're all screwed. No, they didn't say that, right? But, basically OPEC came out and said we're okay with this to go down as far as $70 a barrel. Whether or not they were lying or not, they clearly picked $70 a barrel for a reason. And this self-fulfilling prophecy is about to kick into high gear. Here's what I see for tomorrow. I'm looking to sell short up at these highs, obviously, if we can get that shot, right? But here's another idea. We just came down and tested that 73.95 level once. Maybe call it twice. If we try it again, that's going to give us a very, very big clue. So tomorrow, here's what I see tomorrow, guys. If we cut through this area here at 73.95, we are definitely looking for shorts down to that 71.60. But if we stall and hold, if we can't get ourselves through that 73.95 in tomorrow's session, now we know we're consolidating into options expiration on Friday. So we are going to be paying a very close attention to that 73.95 tomorrow morning in our trade room. We've already tested the 95 area once, right? The second test will be a big clue to see if the buyers can hold off these sellers. If they cannot, right? If they can't, we're looking for price to come back up. Remember, once it comes back up and fails, then you know you got them, right? Do not sell the first break of that low. Okay, that's trade account suicide. Wait for it to break the low, wait for it to try to go back up, and then when it fails again, gotcha. Because what's going to happen is we're going to trap in all those buyers that tried to buy the low and didn't know any better or couldn't resist. Okay, best entries are still short, but short either at the highs or short at resistance. And so as we break lower here, we're going to find that prior range low as resistance to go lower. 71.60 is going to be a great target for you guys as we go lower. And again, you got $70 a barrel. We have no reason to think that we're not going to get to that $70 a barrel, guys. No reason at all. Now, here's a much faster time frame chart now. And now on the 16 anchor, as we wrap up here for the charts for today, you can see there's that consolidated range. Now, you got that trend line coming down off the highs, right? So this would really be where we'd love to get short, right? We had a beautiful sell earlier on this week up at those highs. That was gorgeous. Gave you guys that one from last week in the newsletter. As you can see on this one, though, now we've got that trend line still here, right? So if we can get up to this high, sell it. Keep selling those highs. Keep looking for selling opportunities at range highs. And if you need some help with this, guys, remember, you don't need to do this on your own. I'm going to be trading in my trade room tomorrow morning, like I do every morning. So if you need help with this, if you're wondering, Joe, how do I get into these trades? Where do I find the highs? How do you find these zones? That's what I do all day long. I teach all of our clients all day long how to find these and how to find the entry triggers, how to manage the trade properly, and how to calculate your risk so you're not trading like everybody else, right? You're a professional at what you do. So looking for selling opportunities, the highs here. We got a couple more targets down below, 72.87, 72.18. And again, we'll be watching this area here tomorrow like a hawk. If it keeps bouncing off this area, right, then we know what's going on. Then we know we're consolidated. So look at the volume tomorrow as we go lower. We're making new lower lows tomorrow. We start making new lows here below that 73.92. Confirm it with volume. All right, confirm with volume. If we don't get volume at those lower lows, we know to buy the lows or at least stay away from the sells at the lows. All right, guys, looking good here for tomorrow. Let's wrap up here. A little bit of news, shall we? Tomorrow is Thursday, November 20th. Don't forget, Friday is options expiration Friday. There's a link right below the video tonight that will send you over to download the options expiration calendar here for this year. You definitely want to make sure you know when options expire every month, the third Friday of every 1 month. Now, how about news for tomorrow? Well, first of all, we've got news tonight. We've got manufacturing news out of China at 8:45 tonight. That should get you traders in London and in the Asian session traders. You should have plenty of good opportunities after that news report comes out. We get some minor reports here at 2 o'clock from the Swissy, from the Germans. We've got, of course, the French here. We get the composite flash, Germany flash, EU flash, retail sales in Great Britain. Those are 4 Red Star news events right there. Be ready for that, guys. If you're trading in London tomorrow morning, you've got a field day here coming. Tons of news tomorrow in London, and then we go down to the U.S. session. We got a bunch here in the U.S. We got 8:30 consumer prices, 8:30 jobless claims, 9:45 PMI manufacturing. We're not going to worry about the consumer comfort index, and Philly Fed at 10 o'clock before existing home sales. Guys, count them up here. In the next 24 hours, we have Chinese data. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold on, I'm not done with it yet. 8, 9 Red Star news events in the next 24 hours. Right? Follow your plan. Trade around the news. Don't trade the news. Remember, the news has nothing to do with how I'm going to trade. It has nothing to do. Case in point, did you watch the reaction to crude inventories today? The reaction to crude inventories today was completely the opposite of what you would have thought it would have been, right? So if you were banking on the short today after the inventory report came out extremely bearish, you were well on the wrong side of the market, right? We made a killing buying after that news report this morning. Remember this? Right? So don't look at the news as too big of a clue. It just tells you when you got to be sitting on hands, right? I'm not entering into new trades 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. I'm going to let it do its thing, let it shake around and do its dance on the chart, and then once it gets back to its trend again, then we're going to re-enter the market. So lots of news starting in China tonight. Tomorrow morning, we got Germany, retail sales in Great Britain. Those are just a few of the big ones we expect tomorrow morning. And then we got consumer prices, manufacturing, consumer confidence, Philly Fed, existing home sales. The list goes on. So be ready for that stuff tomorrow. And don't forget, guys, tomorrow is the last full day of trading this week, right? Fridays, OPEX Fridays, can be pretty much like a third of a day on Friday. So take advantage of your opportunities here tomorrow. Now, as always, guys, I'm going to come back here and see you guys one more time this week. We've got one more newsletter in store for you guys tomorrow night. Want to remind you guys, though, head back over to the blog. Make sure you download tonight's charts. Have those ready for tomorrow. Okay, bring them with you to the trade room tomorrow with me. And then grab your free pass. Join our nightly newsletter. And if you happen to stumble over here to SchoolOfTrade.com, I know you're probably curious. If you happen to stumble over here to SchoolOfTrade.com, don't forget, we've got one of the best free trials in the business. We give you guys a free trial. Come out and test drive our course materials. Come out and test drive our live trade room. We offer 3 levels of membership. These are extremely detailed training classes. And of course, as an advanced member, you're with me every day in our live trade room. I have someone standing by every day, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to help you guys out if you need any help. Guys and gals, we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary of teaching traders this year in 2014. As of December, it'll be 11 years here at School of Trade. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'll tell you, being the longest running, fastest growing, most successful trading website on the planet, we're doing something right. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow morning in our live trade room. Keep in touch. Don't forget to download the charts and bring them with you tomorrow. Right? Grab your free pass. Come out and see me tomorrow. And I'll see you guys same time, same place tomorrow night in our live trade room and back here for our nightly newsletter. Have a great evening, guys and gals. Broadcasting live from our corporate headquarters here in Los Angeles. My name is Joseph James. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.